Welcome back to the channel. I got a new video for you today. Something a little different than what I've shown on our channel before. So we are dedicated, this channel is dedicated to us. We don't have any like specific, this is all that we do. We're not just a review channel. We're not just a Jeep channel. We're not just a vacationing channel. Like, this is literally just our lives. The things that we love doing. We may review things. We may show how to do certain things. We may show just life experiences and memories. That's just what our channel is. So today's video it falls right in line with that. So I'm sure plenty of you have seen plenty of videos on our channel about our little RC rock crawlers. And those are 24 scale crawling trucks. What this video today is all about is we decided to build a crawler table in the basement. So it's on caster wheels. You can see Aspen is just under 3 foot tall. It's just above his head. So I'm gonna say it's about 3 foot or so tall. So yeah, we have a sheet of plywood in here, and that is our platform. What you see here currently is not exactly what it's gonna always be. Sorry for the lighting right now. We don't have very much lighting in the basement right now. There's only this light and a light over there on that side. I'm planning on getting at least a couple lights in here over top of the table so that way we can see a little bit better, especially when it gets dark. When I have the blinds open or the curtains open, we can see a lot better, but got some lights in here so we can see the table for the video. We'll go over the rigs here in just a moment, but the table itself, I constructed, designed in SolidWorks with a buddy at work. Real simple table, and got all of the supplies for this table for right around 100 bucks. It really doesn't get much easier or simpler than the way that we designed this table. It's really, really strong and stout. I can go over the details of that more later if anybody's interested. I just don't feel that it's super necessary for this video right now. The plan is to eventually build this out into a nice, fun competition table. Something that I can have fun, I can work on our trucks and test things and see how things are handling within our trucks, and something to be competitive and have fun with and give us a challenge when we're wanting to run our little trucks, especially come wintertime. Wintertime, I'm gonna be wanting to mess with the RCs because I'm not gonna be outside as much unless I'm skiing or playing in the snow with Aspen. So this will give us something we can do indoors where it's warmer. Now, what you see right now on the table is all this rock. There's some big boulders in here, some small stuff. We've got a bucket here underneath that's still, quarter of the way full of rock. All of this rock came out of our backyard. We have so much rock in this yard. For the longest time, I'll put it up on the screen, we had a washout when we first moved into our house. It torrential downpoured the day that we moved in. And shortly before that was when they hydroseeded our yard, and the grading was not very good. That's a whole other story, but nonetheless, there ended up being a washout in our yard, which exposed a bunch of rock. Rock from the neighbors' yards washed down into ours. Ours ended up being the last one that it really affected majorly, so we got the brunt of everything at the very end. By the time that the water washed down, we just had a washout little ditch, and for the longest time I just decided, hey, we're gonna use it as a little rock crawling spot for the RC cars. And it's worked, it's been fine. But now that I decided I wanted to do this, we cleaned up the backyard. I'll show a picture of what that looks like now. We've got a bunch of dirt filled back in there. We've got it all seeded and straw put on it, and we're just waiting on grass to grow. So once that solidifies and gets more firm, then the backyard will be in a lot better condition and shape than what it was, and without all of this rock. So this rock is in here right now just as a temporary. So the plan is not to necessarily have all of this rock on the table. I do want part of it to be natural rock. Maybe some big boulders, some small ones, but not just a boulder field like you see now. We'll talk more later about the plans on what we think we may want to do, or my ideas and what I would like to execute. Whether that's feasible or not, it's a whole other story. The other half of the table, instead of it being natural material, it will be things like cardboard and styrofoam and concrete, and all of that will be plaster cloth. Or sorry, not all of it, the concrete won't be plaster cloth, but the styrofoam and cardboard and things like that will get plaster cloth and get like some sand on top of there and painted, and it'll look really, really cool and scale-like, but it doesn't give you the same reaction as natural stone and dirt does. So that's why I want to do kind of a mixture, half and half, because reaction, where we competition all the time, it's all natural. There's nothing fake about any of their stuff. So I kind of wanted to be half of it to where I can, test for things like that, but the other half to be kind of scale and cool looking and fun. So we'll go over those ideas later. Now, for our rigs, you'll see here as I go down the line, this is the Little Guy Racing Parts Ripper. I will do more in-depth videos on each of these rigs, showing you all the details, but this is the Ripper. Next we have a JLU Wrangler that I did a custom body on, had it painted, cut it up, I designed a 3D printed roll cage for it, and use some interior components. And this is my class 2 rig. I've built this to do really well in class 2, and it does pretty good. There's still some tweaking that needs to be done, but it does a pretty good job. Next is the OG, actually the purple one, which I know it looks really blue because of this light, but it's purple. The purple Wrangler and the blue Gladiator were our 2 OG rigs that we had that first got us into all this. The Gladiator, it's a brushless system, but we'll go over that more later. Then we've got my this is my class 2. The Gladiator is my class 3. And then this white JLU Wrangler is basically all bone stock other than tires and a servo, because it's my class 1. I have a custom painted Bronco with a bunch of custom components like netting for the windows and interior and a bunch of things that make this thing it's so wicked and cool. Then we have the Misc Racing MB24 Bronco, the Fun Haver. Then we've got a cliffhanger that is on a Bronco chassis, and then we have a the Kangaroo from Enduro. I should note, I don't competition the Bronco with all the custom Bronco R. I don't competition it because I would hate to scuff up that body and make it look bad. The MB24, I have competition ran it before. It's a class 3 rig because it's brushless, but it's got a really wide stance with the isokinetic axles, and I really love the tire wheel combo because it looks just like Lauren Healy's Fun Haver, so I don't want to change that up. So I don't really competition with it much, but it is fun when I do get to. The Cliffhanger is my class 3 as well, so you'll notice I've got the Gladiator and the Cliffhanger that run class 3. And then here on the end with the Kangaroo, that is my class 4. It's got rear steer and all that. The last one that you see over here that's sitting upside down, that is a Gladiator chassis that is going to be getting a Power Wagon body, and we have an axial trailer as well. We also have, and sorry, don't mind the mess in our basement. It's gets kind of used for everything. Eventually, I'll get this set up looking pretty nice and pretty cool with some backdrops, but it's kind of hard to see right now. Let's see if I can walk around and show you a little bit better. We have some tire racks that I designed in CAD and had 3D printed. So they're stackable, and then we just store our spare tires on them, or tires that we're not using. I got some extra controllers, or controllers that aren't being used at the moment. Some spare bodies. Eventually, at least one of these spare bodies is going to get reused. So we got a Bronco and then 4 Wranglers. 2 of the Wranglers have their cut bodies with the roll cages. On the table here, just my toolbox, corner weights, so I can measure and see how much the rigs are weighing and where the weight is balanced at. And here, this is my Jeep crate. Got a controller, my toolkit, work mat, and then just some spare parts. That's my carrying case, competition days. And then if you might be wondering what these purple things are on the table that are in the rocks, these are the gates. So if you're unfamiliar with what the competitions are, and maybe I should have elaborated on that a little bit more earlier on. When I say we do competitions, we go to this place called Reaction RC Hobbies up in, on the north side of Grand Rapids here in Michigan. And every Thursday night, and then occasionally they do some Sundays, they have competitions. And what I mean by competitions is they will lay out a course and they will put these gates up in various locations across the course that make it, you know, difficult to get through. You have to weave your way in and out of tight spaces. You have to go over crazy obstacles. You may have to go down obstacles. They make them fun. Some of them are challenging, some of them are easy, but they range from, let's just say, 15 to 25 gates or so per course, and you run one course typically. Sometimes they'll do 2 tables, but the whole point, it's kind of like golf. You're going for the lowest score. So if you hit a gate, it's 10 points. If you have to back up, it's 3 points. If you have to take a winch, it's 2 points. And what I mean by a winch, the 10 scale guys, they have actual winches that they can use. 24th hasn't quite got there. I know there are some people that have them, but it is not nearly like what the 10 scale is. What I mean by a winch is it's just this wooden dowel, pointed, and they have a hook. They have a hook on it, and then it's hard to do this and show this one-handed, but there's a hook here, and then we hook up to the rigs. So like if I needed to hook up to the ripper, I could take that hook it on the roll cage there, and if I was stuck and needed help getting pulled, I just twist this rod, puts tension on it, and it'll help pull me where I need to be. Or if I'm going through a gate and it's tight and I'm about to hit it with the roll cage, I can grab the corner of the roll cage that's about to hit and pull it away. That's kind of the point of winches. So they're 2 points. If you roll over, it's 10 points. Yeah, and then you're just trying to go for the lowest score. So these gates, essentially, they're typically a lot tighter than this. Aspen ran his big Jeep through here, so things got a little bit wild. But they're typically about 6 inches apart or so. So they'll typically be, let's just say maybe roughly that wide. So as you run, let's just show you this Wrangler through here, you can see just how tight it can be getting through, and then while you're trying to navigate rocks and boulders like that. So it gets a little challenging, and it makes it fun because you have to be real precise and you have to think through your lines because you don't want to take a reverse. So you try and look ahead to see where you're going and not get in a pickle with where you're at. So the only other things I got up here, we got our batteries, my main controller, some trophies, some medals. I think that about does it. So this is our crawler table course. Hopefully this will bring us lots of fun and lots of memories and have a good time. Aspen enjoys the heck out of these RCs. He used to get so wild about them that I couldn't have them at home anymore. Or let me rephrase that. They had to go to the basement. Then once he realized that they were in the basement, he always wanted to come down here. So then they went upstairs to our spare bedroom. Once he found out that they were in the spare bedroom, they had to come back down here in the basement. He found out about that, and then it became they had to go to my work. And then now that I've built this and brought them home and such, they're here in the basement. The reason that we had to move them around for him and hide them from him is because he wouldn't want to get his diaper changed. He wouldn't want to listen when he was being told to do certain things because he was just so focused and zoned in on these little RC crawlers that if like at bedtime, we had to take it away from him because he needed to go to bed, and he didn't want that. He didn't like that. So it became a problem. He was just so hyper-focused on it that we just had to eliminate that, and we just never let him mess with them anymore. So, and it got to the point where once I did let him mess with them, he was in a, and he still kind of is in certain ways, but he was in a throwing phase, and he would throw them and things would break. So I gave him one that was just strictly stock. It was his, didn't have to worry about it. If something broke, it broke. Not a huge deal. So that's kind of where we were at with that. But yeah, so now we've got this set up here in the basement. And it should be a lot of fun for us to build and make memories with my family and our friends. And yeah, so I'm gonna get some of the cars out with Aspen and run them. Just kind of show you guys what our current little boulder course looks like and how some of the trucks handle on it. And we'll sign out after that. Gate. Hit that one too. Alright, so that's just one quick little run with the Gladiator. I'll grab a couple more and show you guys what some more look like. Alright, so next on our list we're going to run the Misc Racing MB24, which is what we call the Bronco Fun Ever. That rock moves and moves that gate. But I still didn't hit it. Wow. Gladiator wheelbase hurts. Did touch that gate though. And that one. Pushing us after reverse. Nice cylinder. Oh! But it was after the last gate, so it's all good. So now we're going to run the Kangaroo, which is my class 4 and has rear steer. The rear steer thing to me is brand new, so don't make fun of me. I'm learning, figuring this thing out as we go. This Kangaroo Class 4 with rear steer is a blast to drive. It's just so new and unique to me. It's a good time. All right, last one we're gonna run is the cliffhanger on the Bronco chassis. See how it does. All right, well, that'll about do it here for us. Aspen's enjoying some potato chips and some water. And we're gonna run some trucks here before I have to pack some things up for competition tomorrow, since I'll leave straight from work. So I gotta get some batteries charged and figure out which ones we're gonna take to comp tomorrow. So for now, we're gonna sign off. Aspen and I are gonna continue messing around with these. We'll catch you guys in the next video. Can you say bye? You wave bye? Wave bye. Later.